In the early months of 2020, the world was turned upside down by a deadly disease known as coronavirus, or COVID-19. From January to now, COVID-19 has evolved from an isolated disease in a region of China to a global pandemic that has brought countries to a standstill, pushed hospitals to the brink, and dragged the global economy into a recession. Due to the vast number of confirmed coronavirus cases and the threat posed by COVID-19, several colleges throughout the United States quickly transitioned to online models of learning in mid-March of this year. While some colleges chose to continue to offer fully online courses when the fall 2020 semester began back in August, other universities chose to implement a hybrid model of learning, which combines face-to-face instruction with online learning. Marquette University is one of the universities that adopted a hybrid model of learning back in August of 2020. Several interviews were conducted to explore how graduate and undergraduate students have been impacted by this model of learning. Let's take a listen at what Marquette students have to say.
I'm Zoe Comfort. I'm a senior, double majoring in journalism and digital media, so in the College of Communication. And I do have a job on campus. I work for the Marquette Wire, which is a student media organization, and I'm the executive sports editor.
All right, so my name is Andrew Muzu. I am a sophomore in the College of Communication. I'm majoring in journalism, minoring in digital media. I am an undergraduate, and I am employed with student media, the Marquette Wire.
My name is Misonu Ofori Paku, and I'm in the College of Communication, grad student, second year grad student, majoring in Communication and Media Studies.
Yeah, I definitely think it has a big impact, obviously. Like being a senior, it's definitely hard to go from all in-person classes in March to now we're kind of online sometimes, but kind of in person. So it's very different. But I mean, I think my professors have done a really, really nice job of being accommodating and stuff, but I do think it's really hard to stay motivated and stay focused on school.
Well, I think like many students, it's just been a ride. Obviously, we've had to go all hybrid. Some people have all online, some people stayed home, some people have majority in-person classes. So for me, it's been a hybrid. 4 out of 5 of my classes are online, but I do have discussions and different things like that to be in person. So it's definitely affected me greatly in terms of my academics.
So I'm somebody who is usually an extrovert. I like to be out there. So somewhere March when we moved online, actually I bloated, I gained a lot of weight, and that is how much it affected me. But we adjusted, and along the line it kind of felt normal, and coming back in person somehow, it kind of raised my motivation somehow. So yeah, COVID is there, and we are also here in school doing what we have to do, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. I know the first couple weeks I was really confused. I know I'm in Dr. Keeler's film and TV history, and that's one of the classes that is hybrid, and another one is Sumana's television criticism. It's really different. It was go to class on Tuesdays, but on Thursdays we're doing virtual stuff and we're doing discussion boards and stuff like that. So it's really weird because I'm oh, I don't know what's due. That was the first couple of weeks I was just getting in the groove of what's due when. But I think as the semester has gone on, I've gotten adjusted to it, but I'm still I wish we were in person because obviously you like that face-to-face contact for sure.
Well, I think in this time it's very beneficial, and I think it is also part of the adjustment process. I think that not always being exposed or in person is very good in terms of keeping the numbers low, although the numbers are still going up no matter what. So that kind of sucks, but I really like, and I think the hybrid level type of learning is very, very beneficial.
So I think one good thing COVID has done to all of us is to push us beyond our capacities. I know a lot of schools have been doing it's either online or in person, but COVID has made us realize that we could do the two at the same time. Where asynchronous, you are on video together and learning. So to some extent, it's good. And I believe a lot of schools, a lot of people are going to stick to this trend. It's not really bad in itself, apart from me being a person who wants to be among people and have that personal feel. But the hybrid is one thing that COVID has pushed us to explore, and it is working very well. So I think it's a good way to go, yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I know like because of HIPAA, they're not allowed to like release if you've been in contact, but I think like just recognizing that the situation is super bad right now. I mean, we had spikes of like 41, 42 cases in a day, and that's like very, like you see that on the COVID dashboard, but you think like, oh, they're just plowing through to the end of the semester. I get it, we have 1 week left and they're trying to stay open, but I think just being a little bit more transparent about like what's going on and realizing that they know like it's happening. And I know in the email they said too, like a lot of it isn't coming from the classroom, but again, you could be getting it walking to class, you could be getting it like someone in your class could be asymptomatic, like all of that stuff, like I feel like they don't factor in enough, and they need to be a little bit more transparent on that end, like communicating to students and families like what's going on, and they know that it's getting bad.
I think the biggest thing off the top of my head is the mental health days of second semester needs to go, in my opinion. I feel like we need those breaks such as spring break, we need the Easter break, we need different breaks. And I really appreciate that, this semester is shortened and we've had breaks. We had a little fall break in early October, mid-October, whatever it was. I just think that the mental health days are not going to be mental health days unless there's something where it's going to be a school-wide type thing. I still think that there's going to be a professor there that's going to say, hey, although we don't have class, I still expect you to turn in the homework on this Wednesday where it's a mental health day. I don't think that the mental health day is going to serve as a mental health day. I think we need those breaks. It's very necessary, especially in a time that's so uncertain, in a time that causes so much confusion. So I say bring back those breaks and take out the mental health days.
Probably find better ways of improving some of the resources like Teams. Teams acts up a lot of the times. So yeah, but apart from that, I think, and with a plan for spring 2020, people are thinking that they should have breaks, but I don't think the way it is planned with the mental health days is very good. And if it's anything to go by, and if it would be implemented, I think it would be a very good thing to do.
It's very challenging mentally to stay motivated, to stay like positive. I know so many people who have just like mentally, like when they've been in quarantine, and I was in quarantine for a little bit because I had a COVID scare. I tested negative, but like the days I was in quarantine, not allowed to see anyone, I was just a wreck. Like I cried like every single day. It was just really bad mentally. And then like that also makes it challenging to do schoolwork because I'm just so sad about like what the state of where I am. So like I feel like it's definitely challenging, like physically, mentally, like emotionally, everything. So I would definitely say that.
It was an experience because I learned a lot of new things about myself, about mental health is so important now. People are educating themselves. I learned so many different things about just my craft. It tested my motivation. It tested my will, and I think it even strengthened it. So it was definitely an experience.
Well, I will tell them that life happens, and when life happens, we move on. I don't think this is the first pandemic we are experiencing. I think in one of my papers I am talking about the Spanish flu, which happened like over a century ago. So it would be something to look back and share experiences, laugh over, teach people about. But life happens, and it is going to be an experience that will live with us forever.
While this documentary only includes a few students, it is evident that COVID-19 has greatly altered their college experience. I hope years from now, students will be able to look back on this time and reflect on just how unique and challenging going to college during a global pandemic was.